Year 17 for LeBron James. That cannot be understated. Remember what Michael Jordan looked like in his final year? Couldn't really jump. Year 17 for LeBron. LeBron says, let me guard the hottest young guard in the NBA. He's 23. He's in his prime. I'm a power forward. I got this. And shuts him down. A, most stars don't want to do that. And B, if you give it to them, they can't do it. This is what I would call the gap. And I've seen it twice in the NBA. When Michael Jordan was at his best, the gap between Jordan and everybody else in the sport, it's the stars, was massive. Magic was the only player that was reasonably close, and Magic could do one thing better than Michael, elevate others. Michael didn't always do that. But even scoring and defense, Magic wasn't close to Michael, getting a bucket or getting a stop. The gap between LeBron and everybody else is now absurd. Let's take recent MVPs. They should be close to LeBron. Giannis can't shoot 3 playoff series wins in the East in 7 years. Harden, one-trick pony, all offense. Westbrook, 3 words, out of control. Anthony Davis, completely irrelevant until he joined LeBron. Like Magic to Michael, Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard have elements they can do better. Kevin Durant's just a better shooter, and Kawhi right now at this point in his athletic prime, probably better at getting a stop over the course of 8-9 minutes. But it's not close. Kevin Durant isn't the leader and can't stay healthy, and Kawhi doesn't talk and communicate and, frankly, doesn't elevate others. He's just great. This is unbelievable what you see last night. LeBron's now done this twice. He did it against Derrick Rose 9-10 years ago. Remember, Derrick Rose was the hottest thing in the NBA, the hottest guard, the talk of the league. And LeBron James said 9 years ago, I'm 6'9.5", 250. I got this. And he handcuffed him for the rest of the series in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, LeBron would say, I got D. Rose. What forward in the history of the league does that? Bird, Duncan, Dr. J. You don't do that. Derrick Rose was the quickest guy in the league. LeBron's like, I got him. And Derrick Rose was awful in the fourth quarter. Last night, LeBron can no longer do it for a quarter. Jamal Murray's on fire. He's exploded. He's the next star guard in the league. Nobody can stop him. And in year 17, LeBron's like, yeah, I got him. And creates enough chaos for Jamal Murray that all the scoring stops. I mean, you got to be kidding me on this. It's just year 17. Never forget this. LeBron's son is closer in age to Jamal Murray than LeBron is. Year 17, year 13, guys quit playing defense in this league. Year 15, they're out of the league. Year 17, LeBron, I got this. I've only seen 5 athletes like this, really, in my life, where I'm not even sure who the number 2 is. Tiger Woods. I think in his prime, the number 2 was Phil Mickelson. I think. But for 10 years, there wasn't a 2. Serena Williams, who's been the second best women's tennis player. I don't think they exist. Tom Brady. I think it's Peyton Manning, but for most of Peyton's career against Tom was the clutch, and Peyton couldn't win the big game. Michael Jordan, obviously, and now LeBron. The idea, most stars wouldn't want that assignment, to guard somebody that's younger, in their prime, different position, red hot, and ascending as a star. LeBron takes it and then accomplishes it. It's just, I'll call it the gap. I've seen it 5 times. The gap. Tiger, MJ, Brady, Serena, and LeBron. I'm not sure who number 2 is. I mean, you going to tell me Giannis is 2? AD had a playoff series win in 7 years pre-LeBron. The gap. You get it about once a decade, maybe twice. All right, the game in the NFL that a lot of people will be watching. Dak and the Cowboys go to Seattle, Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Now, what a lot of teams in the NFL do to beat Russell Wilson, here's sort of the theory. Keep him off the field. Run the football. Keep him off the field. Mike McCarthy says, no. We are not going to do that. We are going to get in a shootout with Seattle. We think we can match up with Seattle offense, point for point, touchdown for touchdown. Oh, you want to get in a shootout with Russell Wilson? You know what the Dallas Cowboys offense is? It's a political ad. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, if you're Joe Biden, Trump, Bernie Sanders. It doesn't matter. All political ads are sort of the same. They're very slick. They put in music, and they always make the candidate look the best. But it's really more marketing than it is, truth. The political ads aren't really truthful. It's just promises and hope, and it's slick, and it's clever. Dallas's offense is a political ad. Oh, it's slick. It gets a lot of stats. We all think it's good, but let's be honest about it. They either score too early or never enough late. Let's go to last year. Go look at last year's schedule. And you look at a lot of those points, but let's go to 3 games in particular to start. Green Bay, Buffalo, and Chicago. Those games weren't close. Green Bay led 31-3. Buffalo led 26-7. Bears led 31-14 in the fourth. Those games were never competitive. When you needed Dallas's offense, it was nowhere to be found. They got all their points in those games in garbage times when the games were out of reach. Let's go to 3 other games against very good teams. At the Saints, at the Patriots, at the Eagles. In those games, the defense, the much maligned Cowboy defense, was actually excellent. But they couldn't muster a second touchdown drive against the Saints. They couldn't muster a single touchdown drive at Foxborough. And they couldn't muster a single touchdown drive at Philadelphia. So in 3 of their games, it was just a bunch of garbage points where they couldn't get into a shootout. The other team was like, we're going to score on you. They couldn't. And in 3 other games, when the defense played great against good teams, playoff teams, nothing. 6 other biggest games last year. This is a hollow political ad on offense. They're an 8-8 football team that beat 1 playoff team last year. And again, this year, I see the exact same thing. I'll give you an example. So against the Rams, it came down to the final play. They had 6 drives in the second half. Result, against Sean McVay, 1 field goal. And then Atlanta, they're down by 15 with 5 minutes left. Atlanta's in a prevent. They get all their points, and then they recover the goofiest, silliest, craziest onside kick of all time, or they'd be 0-2. Again, in these games, against the Rams, who were moving the ball, just like last year in those 3 games, against Buffalo, Chicago, Green Bay, when you had to really ramp it up, they couldn't match them in the second half. And then like those 3 other games where, you fall behind and you need real stuff, and you just couldn't deliver. Rams in Atlanta is the Cowboys last year. When you really need them, it's either too early or too late, and it's just a slick political ad. A lot more marketing than the truth. The way to beat Seattle is not to get in a shootout. The way to beat Seattle is keep Russell Wilson on the sideline. That's what Cam almost did. That's what Cam did last weekend. Where was Russell Wilson at the end of the game last week? Watching on the screen as Cam slowly and methodically kept Russell Wilson off the field. As a Patriot fan, would you have felt better if Russell had the ball with 5 minutes left? No. You felt good because Cam had the ball and Cam was moving and Russell was on the sidelines. That is the way to beat the Seahawks and Russell Wilson. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.